over. The weight's not a problem. He's willing to wait anytime you want him. So he brings that to the table. But you have to cultivate the go, but you also have to cultivate the get in the middle part. Because you see, he can't drop his neck until he gets in the middle. And when he gets in the middle, he drops his neck and the quarter comes out easier and easier and easier. Everything begins to feel like a well-oiled machine instead of something that needs some oil.
And he was, when I would get him, I could get 1 or 2 strides like that, but I never got that nice a trot all the way around the arena.
What I mean.
I know it when I get it, but I could only get it a little bit because he wasn't together.
Exactly, because that was because we waited for him to get tired enough to drop his neck, but he did it if he felt like it. He didn't do it on cue. And the difference was here you showed him when my aids come on, here's your responsibility, here's what your body should do, here's how it should react. Therefore, you could say, just like Pavlov's dog, you could ring the bell and say, drop your neck. And when he, 4 strides, if he tries to come up 4 strides later, your aides come on again and say, drop your neck, until finally you can convince him that he has to go around with the neck dropped all the time. But in order for his neck to drop, he can't be on intermittent contact. He can't be really pushed against one side or the other. He can't be, I'll move off the side, but I won't go forward now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like juggling. You've got those 3 elements that you have to get into the mix. None of them have to be perfect if you have a little bit of each. And you were almost riding as if you wanted to make the forward really perfect, and then you could think about the next
And
piece.
it doesn't matter if one of them's perfect, the other 3 aren't there.
Exactly, the other 2.
Other 2.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
doesn't make a bit of
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah. Good boy. That's much better.
Very good.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll work on that.
So you're absolutely correct that he should stretch. Absolutely correct.
Right. But
But he
he's got
has
to
to
do
be
it the right way.
organized
Yeah,
to
exactly.
stretch. So, what I say to myself is if I have a horse that is hesitant to get round, I say to myself, I'm going to organize his body parts as much as I need to get them all going to the right direction and where they need to go so that he can stretch. And gradually, when he becomes accustomed to being organized, he'll come out and let you organize him easier and easier. It's a lot a lot harder to organize a long, stretched out horse than it is a horse a little bit more together. Okay? But there's a fine line. If you've got a horse that doesn't want to go forward, you always have to, again, balance it out with if I try to organize him too much, and I don't have a little motor to go with it, then I get in trouble. That's where you have to say, okay, I got to juggle those 3 elements and, make sure that whenever I do something, it doesn't kill off one of the others.
We couldn't have done this 3 months ago
Yeah,
because he wasn't there. He wasn't in front of me at all.
right, exactly. So it's a process.
Right.
So the more he stays organized, the easier you'll be able to come out and say, drop your neck. The sooner you can get him to drop the neck, the sooner he goes forward easier, because that's a mechanical thing. When he's like that, we discussed that before, when he's like that, it makes his back tight, and then he's a leg mover and not a back mover, and that's why you like that trot so much. It felt so good because it felt like he was trotting like this, using his whole body. Very good.
And the canters for the warm-up.
The canter, I think you have to canter with him in the beginning because I think that's a good idea, but I would encourage you to move him around a little bit at the canter and say, look, don't canter on no contact, don't canter, face it against the wall, don't, the rules are the same everywhere he goes. And that's what the consistency is what's the hardest thing for the rider to do, is to be consistent enough to say, rules are the same. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whether we're walking, trotting, or cantering, those are the same. And so it's just as hard for the rider to be that consistent as it is for the horse to be that consistent. But,
I'm sure it's harder for me. He seems pretty willing once he understands what it is.
Right.
He's not cranky about it.
Right, and that's why you have to keep showing him the way. And if the contact's a little loop, got a loop in it, you can't show it.